1 Corinthians. Chapter 9, Paul writes, "Do you not know that those who run in a race all run, but one receives the prize? Run in such a way that you may obtain it, and everyone who competes for the prize is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a perishable crown, but we for an imperishable crown. Therefore I run thus, not with uncertainty. Thus I fight, not as one who beats the air. But I discipline my body and bring it into subjection, lest, when I have preached to others, I myself should become disqualified." So Paul is comparing the Christian life to an athletic competition. Anybody who's ever been in sports knows that it's not over till it's over. You have to play until the end. And this is what Paul is saying here. There's never a point where you can say, all right, I'm saved, all is good. Because Paul says, I discipline my body, I bring it into subjection, which means that I address the sin that is so persistent in my life, particularly those habitual sins that I don't even put up a fight against. And I address these things, lest, Paul says, having preached this gospel of salvation to other people, I lose out on it. Which is to say, it is possible to have embraced the gospel, because Paul writes this long after the road to Damascus. It is possible to embrace the gospel, to embrace the salvation of Jesus Christ, and then to lose it. Again in chapter 15 of 1 Corinthians, Paul writes, "I declare to you, brethren, the good news which I preached to you, which also you accepted, in which you also stand, and you are saved by it. That is, if you hold firmly to the word which I preached to you. Otherwise, you believed in vain." You are saved if you hold firmly to the word, even if you believe initially. If you walk away from that belief, if you do not honor that belief in your life, it doesn't do any good. The assurance that we have in our salvation is that God has done everything that was needed to liberate us from the tyranny of sin and shame and death through His Son, Jesus Christ. On God's part, everything has been done for our salvation, and in that respect, we are saved. And certainly what God does for our salvation is infinitely greater than anything that we can do for our salvation. But that does not mean that we don't have anything to do and that it's not important. We are saved, and that salvation is always assured to those who embrace the gospel and who engage sincerely in the struggle to live out these precepts every day of their lives until they draw their final breath.